This is great. I think children having manners is incredibly important. So to start off, let's just go right into like a meet and greet. You know, for adults, we're told to use a firm handshake, look people in the eye. What do you recommend for children? Is it more or less the same? Is there another trick for them?
You know, I would say it is the same in what they do, but it's how you present it to them is what's different. For kids, you need to make it fun, where they don't even feel like they're learning manners, but any way you can engage them. For example, little girls go through a princess phase, and you know, why don't you have them dress up and pretend to meet you as their favorite princess? So I would say, hi, you know, I'm Elise McVeigh, nice to meet you. And then you'd say, oh, very good, Princess, you know, Catherine, you had a very clear and confident voice, you had a firm handshake and great eye contact. Because they really like to role play, and if you can, you know, pretend with them, then they'll get it a lot faster.
Great, great. Okay. Setting a table. I had a 10-year-old or 11-year-old over recently, and I asked her to help me set the table, and she had no idea how to do it. So is there a particular trick or a memory game that you teach kids or you recommend for kids?
Yeah, something I've done in my classes, where all the kids that I've had go through, is I have a placemat that they can use where it shows where everything goes. That way they can take it home with them and they can continue to do it again and again, and then they'll quickly learn where everything belongs on the table, because you don't want your child to be 10 or 11 and not know. So if you can start with them as early as possible, because obviously a lot of adults don't even know.
That's true too.
So before you teach your kids, you need to sort of check that out. Actually, if you go to my website, mrsmcveihsmanners.com or even barbie.com, some really great tips and tools on how to do it.
Great, great. Okay, and of course, we're in an electronic age. Email, instant messaging, texting. So is it today appropriate for a child to thank someone in that manner, send a thank you note that way over email? Or what are your thoughts on that versus a traditional handwritten note?
I think a handwritten note is so important. You know, once again, finding tools that they like. For example, there's a DVD out called Barbie Princess Charm School, and the reason I mention it is right now kids are really in tune with the whole princess thing with Kate Middleton getting married, and so, you know, use that as an example. Oh, would Kate Middleton, you know, write a thank you note by, you know, through the email? You know, if they like Barbie, or if it's a boy and he has a favorite sports hero, you know, would Peyton Manning, do you think, do that? Just make sure that you emphasize to them that a handwritten note is very important, and it has to be in their best handwriting. A fill-in-the-blank one isn't good, and an email definitely is not acceptable for thanking someone for anything very important.
Okay, great, great. And I'm glad you touched upon boys, because that sort of segues into my next question, because manners are universal. And hello?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought we got cut off. So, you know, is there, I know this is sort of very princess-oriented and Barbie-oriented, but, you know, it's important for boys to learn also. Is there something coming up in the works for boys?
Well, you know what? I have 3 sons myself, and
okay.
I have just really, you know, once again, it doesn't matter if they're a boy or a girl, you just have to make it fun. If you know, my kids are so into sports, so that's why I use the sports analogy, but that would work at my house easily. Anything that they see on TV, or, you know, anything that they listen to, we can always relate it back to manners. Or just even when they're playing, you know, boys or girls on the soccer field, you can say, well, that wasn't very good sportsmanship, was it? Or I always make sure that my kids thank their coaches before, after every game. And if they don't listen to their coaches, I'll say, you know, that did not sound very respectful. If your coach says that you're going to play goalie, then you're going to play goalie. So I think that that's a universal message that most kids can relate to.
Terrific. Excuse me. So one more question. If a child, of course, doesn't exactly have the proper manners, it's not necessarily their fault. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is, how do you engage the parents? How do you get them involved and interested and willing and wanting to teach their children this.
Well, it's interesting. I read a survey recently that said 70% of Americans feel like that we're ruder than we were 20 years ago. So it's obviously a problem. I would say that teachers need to be more firm with children and with the parents and learning manners. If we can somehow get parents interested through our kids, you know, seeing great DVDs out there like Barbie Princess Charm School or any other kind of tools that they see. If the kids are excited about it, then I would hope the parents would be excited about it, because I think the message we want to give the parents is, hey, this is something that is fun for kids, and your child is going to be more successful and get a lot more results in school, when they have to get a job, and just in life. So hopefully the parents will see the benefit as well.
Terrific, terrific. Okay, well, I think that's probably it. I really appreciate your time.
Well, thanks for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. You have a great day, and thanks again.
Thanks. Thank you.